fair in various contexts, such as your own personality, professionally, and within your own society. Because as we find ourselves here, we came from different societies, and each and every society you happen to find yourself, there are certain ethical considerations that guide your behavior. Then what is nursing ethics? Nursing ethics is the application of moral principles and values to the nursing profession. It guides nurses' decisions and actions, ensuring they provide care that respects patient autonomy, dignity, and rights. So this is simply what we are referring to as nursing ethics. Those behaviors that you are going to exhibit, which will respect patient's autonomy, it will respect patient's dignity, and at the same time respect patient's right. I believe in the course of your studies, you must have been taught about patient's bill of rights, right? So maintaining those rights is paramount to each and every nurse. Tomorrow you can go to the hospital and a patient may refuse treatment. You cannot say you will force him to take treatment, but he has that right to refuse treatment. So after a lot of explanations to him, if he still continues to refuse, then that is when you are going to document and move to the other section. We cannot go to that. Nursing ethics provide the moral framework that guides nurses in delivering care and interacting with patients, families, and colleagues. In Nigeria, the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria outlines key principles that shape ethical practice. These are the key principles that shape ethical practices. Autonomy, that is honoring patients' rights to make decisions about their treatment. If a patient is supposed to undergo surgery and he said he wants to deny going to surgery, he has that right to deny being operated, right? But you as a nurse, it is your responsibility of not being able to carry out or undergo the surgical intervention. Despite it is all right, so you can respect his own right, but at the same time, you can explain to him, sat him down like my brother here said. You guide him, you counsel him, and tell him what are the advantages and what are the cons of not accepting to be operated, right? So in doing so, you have respected his own right because it is mandatory. If you try to force him and something happens to him, definitely he can sue you. Beneficence, that is prioritizing actions that enhance patient well-being. At any point in time when you are doing those things that will enhance patient's recovery, right? And those things that you can do to enhance patient recoveries ranges from so many things. Providing conducive environment for him, supporting him psychologically, and at the same time supporting his significant others. Because when you are working as a nurse in the hospital, it is not only the patient that is responsibly under your care, even the significant others. And when we talk of significant others, who do we refer to? We are referring to maybe a patient, his father, his mother, if he's a child, a woman, her husband, if she are married, a man and his wife and other children, they are all significant others. So in this regard, their care falls in your hands. So it's not only the patient that you are dealing with. You are at the same time dealing with his significant others. Normal efficiency, that is ensuring care. You have to avoid harm or unnecessary risks. At any point in time you are making you are performing your job as a nurse, you have to make sure that you are doing things that cannot cause harm to the patient or that are going to put patient at risk. You understand me? So that is what is being referred to as normal efficiency. Then justice, promoting fairness in resource allocation and patient treatment. Confidentiality, you have to maintain patient privacy and confidentiality. There is no reason why a patient will come to you and trust his confidentiality, confidential problems to you and start exposing him, which I observe that is habit of nurses of today. I'm just so sorry, I'm a nurse. But the fact that I'm a nurse cannot deter me from saying the truth. You may happen to find yourself working in the operating theater where patients were taken there naked. See a nakedness of patient, come to your own colleague and tell him, oh, My brother, you see, if you see that guy, this is how this thing looks like. You are exposing his privacy, which is very dangerous. And you are liable to be penalized by either the National and Midwifery Council, the management of the hospital, or the competent court of jurisdiction. If I can share an experience with you in this regard, Dr. Asara is here, he's a surgeon. He very well knows that when patient is being anesthetized, the anesthesia goes in stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. So there is a certain stage that the patient has not gone off completely. By the time you start discussing, even within your own selves, he can hear you. So it happened in one of our days. The patient was brought undergoing an anesthesia, then somebody was discussing about her features. When she wakes up from anesthesia, she reported the matter. A committee was set to investigate who and who were among the patients that take care of that patient in the theater during that surgery. They are all pointed out. Eventually, the committee was able to identify the person that was caught discussing about her own issues. So what they did was, one, to remove him from the time, they expelled him. So you have to be very careful in maintaining patients' confidentiality. These principles are not merely theoretical. They are actionable standards that graduating nurses must apply daily. So what we are trying to tell you here is this. All what has been said, what I'm saying, and what is going to be said is not just theoretical aspect. You have to be putting it into practice. And put it into practice on daily basis, because you have to go to the hospital and work, or wherever you happen to find yourself, you have to work. So these things we are trying to tell you now are things that you have to put into action on daily basis, 24/7. Whether you are in the hospital, whether you are in your community, whether you are in your house, whether you are in the school, whether you are ever. As a nurse, these things that we are teaching you, you have to put them into practice every time. For example, safeguarding patient privacy or securing informed consent reflects these values in practice. For new nurses, mastering these ethical principles is essential as they prepare to face complex situations, such as respecting a patient's refusal of treatment while ensuring patient safety, where moral clarity is vital. Adhering to this standard strengthens patient trust of a nurse professional identity. Of an ethics of practice, this is what is going to happen. It will elevate the quality of care and it will establish foundation for nurses' professional identity. Now, penalties for ethical breaches. Ethical violations such as negligence, misconduct, or compromising patient safety carry serious consequences in nursing profession. So we are now trying to tell you that negligence, when we talk of negligence, negligence is a very, very wide topic. Negligence to carry out your responsibilities, negligence to report to your workstation, negligence to do what you are supposed to do, is all part of negligence, and the consequence is going to be gross. One, the National and Midwifery Council of Nigeria enforces penalties to uphold accountability, including suspension. In the event of any negligence or causing any harm to patient, you can be suspended. Temporary removal from practice for moderate breaches. Example, professional negligence, practicing without a valid license, rudeness to patient. So to most of us here who think patients are just there in the hospital, it's just because our patients here doesn't know their rights. But at the time you become rude to a patient, you are liable to be suspended from practicing. It is a law. It has been established by the National and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. So you have to be very careful. Don't think if you see a patient, you can talk to patient anyhow. You can do anything to patient. Two, fines, monetary penalties for lesser infractions. Example, unauthorized practice, forgery of council's documents. For example, now, I believe by the time you start this school of nursing, so many people have been dropped that cannot be able to reach this stage. So if you happen to find yourself among those that were being dropped and you go and forge NASA and Midwifery Council documents, you are liable to be fined. And the fine is from NASA and Midwifery Council, not necessarily they have to take you to the court of jurisdiction. License revocation, permanent loss of practicing license for severe or repeated violations. If you continue to repeat the violations that you are being reported to, your license can completely be revoked. So when your license is being permanently revoked, what does that mean? You are being deregistered from the register of NASA and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. And whenever you are being deregistered from the register of NASA and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, what does that translate? You are no longer considered to be what? To be a nurse. So all the years you have spent, all the money you have spent, they've gone for nothing. And at the same time, you may end up going to jail. Govern the practice of nursing, ensuring patient safety and quality of care. They are established and enforced by regulatory bodies, NASA and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. These regulations cover a wide range of aspects, including professional conduct, education, scope of practice, and disciplinary actions. So these regulations, as we are all here, we know that NASA and Midwifery Council of Nigeria is the one who formulates the curriculum that we are using to train you people, right? It is NASA and Midwifery Council of Nigeria that regulates that. At the same time, it is NASA and Midwifery Council that regulates your scope of practice. That is where and where can you go. When we say the scope of practice, we are simply referring to the activities that are supposed to be carried out by a nurse as far as patient management is concerned. You as a nurse, you are not allowed to go and perform surgery in the theater, no matter how expert you are. For example, like myself, that I'm a peri-operative nurse, NASA and Midwifery Council did not allow me to go and carry out surgery, no matter how experienced I am. You understand me? So it is NASA and Midwifery Council that regulates our own scope of practice, including International Council of Nurses. If I should go maybe and carry out surgery and eventually patient dies, I commit murder. Why? Because I'm not a doctor, I'm not trained to go and carry out surgery. But if by any accident I administer an intramuscular injection, if I administer it correctly using the site that is being prescribed by NASA and Midwifery Council for intramuscular injection, I carry out the procedure, I bring out my tray and do every necessary thing, and if eventually that patient died, I cannot be liable or I cannot be accused of murder. Why? Because I'm trained to administer intramuscular injection and I am licensed to carry it out. So in the event of anything that will happen, NASA and Midwifery Council will not take me to court. That is why we are always training you people not to go outside the scope of your practice. Don't think maybe you can stay in a unit, become experienced, and say that, okay, since you are experienced, you will carry out the procedures that doctors are carrying out. You are not a doctor, you are a nurse. At any point in time, try to maintain your responsibility as a nurse, please. Public protection. The primary goal of nursing regulation is to protect the public from harm by setting standards for education, practice, and conduct. I have already mentioned that. Licensure and certification. Regulatory bodies oversee the licensing and certification of nurses, ensuring they meet the required qualifications and competency standards. NASA and Midwifery Council cannot just go out and give each and every person a license. For example, last year you were here. Were you licensed? Were you licensed? Answer me. You are not registered and licensed by NASA and Midwifery Council. Why? Because you have not yet attained required for you to become a registered nurse, and you are not allowed to practice as a nurse. Regulations define the specific tasks and responsibilities that nurses are authorized to perform based on their education and training. That's what we are saying. From our own curriculum, we all have our own procedure manuals. So at the same time, at any point in time, you try to go out of your procedure manual to go into another procedure that doesn't belong to you as a nurse, you are not going out of your regulatory authority. And at the same time, you can equally be sued to the court, and you can be fined, jailed, or you can be whatever. Professional conduct. Codes of conduct outline ethical obligations and expected behaviors for nurses, including confidentiality, respect for patients, and accountability for their actions. Continuing education. Many jurisdictions require nurses to participate in ongoing education and professional. Here today, what you are learning today is different from what you are taught while you are in the classroom, right? So it's all part of continuing education. Even if you have finished as graduated nurses, during your practices, you have to be attending seminars, workshops, conferences, and attending some various courses. For example, maybe to specialize in certain areas of nursing practice, like pediatrics, perioperative nursing, anesthesia, and all other branches that you can think of. You can go move forward to update your knowledge. So continuing education is also part of nursing profession. Disciplinary actions. Regulatory bodies can take disciplinary actions against nurses who violate regulations, such as suspension or revocation of licenses. Implications for graduating nurses. For nursing graduates, ethics, penalties, and regulations are not abstract concepts, but practical tools that will define their career. So this is indirectly or directly tell you that for you to be able to practice as a nurse and to become a role model of a nurse, you have to abide by the ethics, and you have to know what are the penalties in the case of erring, and at the same time you have to know the regulations. So I tell you, those things are not just abstract concepts. They are concepts that you need to know, understand, and master them. Ethical training prepares them to navigate dilemma like balancing patient choice with clinical necessity, while awareness of penalties underscores the seriousness of their decisions. The regulatory process, through its rigorous standards, affirms their capacity to serve with excellence and integrity. So the regulatory bodies are not there just to form regulations, but at the same time to make sure that you nurses, they affirm your capacity to serve with excellence and integrity. Challenges remain, such as uneven penalty enforcement, which may test public as a solution, fostering a commitment to lifelong learning and reflection. As graduates enter their roles, they must view these elements as a continuous commitment to professionalism and patient care. Conclusion. Nursing ethics, penalties, and regulations form the backbone of professional nursing in Nigeria. For graduating nurses or for graduating students, they provide the guidance, accountability, and structure needed for success. By embracing ethical principles, understanding the consequences of breaches, and meeting regulatory expectations, these new nurses are equipped to uphold patient safety and professional honor. As you begin your career as nurses, you carry the responsibility of maintaining the trust placed on you, contributing to a healthcare system rooted in integrity and service. Thank you.
Thank you so much. How you cannot reveal anything concerning your patient until otherwise. Don't receive a result. Tukur. Oh, Tumba. Hey, do you know that again? Who always come and do? Hey, she is HIV. So you are not professional, and you have violated significantly one of your rules and ethics. And when you are caught, you are in trouble. And so keeping that secret is must. Is must. So it's very powerful. ethics in your profession. Um, it can lead to so many things, because that is the last part of his lecture, penalty. When you know the ethics, you know the regulations, so practice them, maintain them. But when you violate also, when you breach, that is what you call them. Ethical what? Breach, penalties for ethical breaches. Penalties for ethical breaches. When you breach, you have your sanctions. You have your sanctions. Today, when you do one bad thing, hey, the whole world will hear you. True or false? Yes. Some hospitals, they have CCTV. We heard him saying, when they inject somebody, that injection which will make you to lose your consciousness. I don't know the name, but the way he described it, I know it will lose. I mean, you lose your consciousness. Eh? What is the name, sir? Arwa? Oh, anesthesia. He was saying, it is a concept to them, anesthesia. So that injection made that patient to be unconscious. I know sometimes not strong and it may not work as expected. So you can hear some of the talks and components. So that patient has them say, I see her, I see her, she's this and that thing. So shut them. Violating one of the ethics, violating one of the rules, violating one of the regulations governing your practice. So she knows herself, she reported, and sanctions was employed to those particular nurses or midwives. So please be careful. Take it on. In addition to that, we have CCTV. Whatever you are doing, it is being recorded. Yeah? Do you know that?
Emphasized on nurses staying within their scope, staying within your scope, within what you are regulated to do. Do not say, oh, because I've observed many surgeries, I can perform a surgery. You're not a doctor. Stay within your lane. Respect yourself. If you want to practice surgery, then you have to go and read and become a medical doctor. We have a lot of quacks, a lot of people going outside their scope. There are penalties for it. The world has become a very global village now. First, the things that during our time, old school, we used to take. I hope you know that people like you will not take it, isn't it? True or false? You know, the older generation are more patient, more tolerant. You go and do what is not right to a person, they will take you to court. And now, with the phone, camera is everywhere. It's not even CCTV. I think just some few months ago in Abuja, I think some medical personnel received some patients anyhow, and it was captured on TV. It on camera, and it went viral. So you have to be very, very careful and deliberate about your work, about the standards that you uphold. He said you should not go outside the scope of your practice. I think he emphasized on that several times in the course of his presentation. And he said you should uphold your responsibilities as nurses and midwives. He also emphasized on continuous learning and education. Continuous learning and education. You must open your mind to learning. You must open your mind to knowing that the knowledge you have today is not enough for tomorrow. It's only enough for today, but it's not enough for tomorrow. He said ethics Penalties, this for me, these are the things that stood out. And you can see it's something that I've jotted down. He said ethics, penalties, and regulations are not abstract concepts, but practical tools that defines your career. They are practical tools. That means they are things you use to define your career. Ethics, penalties, and regulations are the tools that you use to define how far you will go in your career. They are not just abstract. It's not just something you just talk about. Oh, I know them. I'm going to pass exam. What are the ethics of the nursing profession? I can write it down. It goes beyond that. That is what he has emphasized in the course of his presentation. He said, you carry the responsibility of maintaining the trust and ethical standard placed on you. It is your responsibility. It is nobody's responsibility. You are the nurse, you are the midwife. So it is your responsibility and maintain the trust and ethical standard that you have signed to by becoming a registered nurse and with midwife. As a last word, like I said, everybody carries phone now. That tells us.
Thank you very much. This is a very, very good question that I expected to be asked. Because so many people don't understand what is meant by license revocation. Professionally, each and every profession has its own ethics, as we have mentioned, and they have their own regulations. At the same time, they have their own way of punishing or rewarding their professionals. National Midwifery Council, for example, if they want to reward you, they can either give you a gift or they can do so many things to you. So likewise, if they want to punish you, they can also set up a committee right from your own area of practice till National and Midwifery Council. And if you are found guilty of whatever you have committed or the offense that you are being reported to have committed, they will revoke your license. When it is said that your license has been revoked, if it is permanent revocation, meaning to say you will no longer practice as a nurse in Nigeria. And at the same time, if you happen to Japa, maybe you are practicing outside. Once the National Midwifery Council of Nigeria has revoked your license, then you stand to be on your own. Anything that concerns you, the Nigerian government is not going to be part of it. Temporary revocation can simply mean maybe your license can be suspended for a certain period of time. Maybe after you serve a punishment that is being assigned on you, your license can be returned back to you. But permanent revocation is when you are being completely deleted from the register of National and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. I hope I have satisfied your answer. And, all right.
Do you renew licenses? Does the nursing council renew licenses?
And another very important question is, now as you have graduated, you are licensed. If you look at your license properly, it is going to work for 3 years, after which you are going to renew it. So renewal of license is being carried out after every 2 years. The first one that is issued to you now will last for 3 good years. You will be practicing as a nurse for 3 solid years. But once the 3 years has been exhausted, that is maybe around year 2028. Which month are we now? We are in July. So by June 2028, you are expected to renew your license. It's just like when you are driving. If you have a car and you are driving it, a road safety officer, if he stops you, the first thing he will ask you, where is your driver's license? If your license has expired, the next thing he will say, what? I will take you to the office. They will either fine you or there must be something. They have a schedule of punishment for each and every traffic offense. Likewise, that's a Midwifery Council ensuring that after every 2 years, a nurse should renew his license. And before renewing the license, there are certain protocols that you need to carry out. That is why we talk about continuing education. That is what is being referred to as MCPDP, Mandatory Continuing Professional Development Program. You have to go and attend that program to have two certificates of mandatory continuing professional development program before you are being allowed to renew your license. The essence of that MCPDP is to update you with the current knowledge at the time. Probably by now that we are practicing, in the next 2 or 3 years, there are certain innovations that are going to appear. So by the time those innovations were out, you need to update yourself so that you can identify with that day's reality. So that is why if you are being licensed or your license has been renewed based on those MCPDP programs that if you attended, you are being certified that you can practice with that day's reality. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Any other question?
Okay, now questions are coming up. Good afternoon.
My question is, for example, now, as a nurse or duty, so there is a patient that came in, like an emergency patient, that came with relatives. So I was trying to do my work as a nurse, but the patient relative are being aggressive, they are throwing sort of insults to me. And the nurse, if I decide like I don't want to answer that question, is it considered as negligence or I have a right to say yes, I'm not answering the patient.
Okay, if I understand you very well, you know, once you are a patient, some relatives are very aggressive, and sometimes patients' relatives get confused, and that is the essence of one of the essence of your own training. At any point in time you are practicing as a nurse, you need to be what? You need to be calm. Because if you are not calm, you cannot take decision. So the fact that a patient relation brought in a patient, as they came, they are confused. Maybe their patient is bleeding, but what type of bleeding is there that can happen which can make you lose your control? It's not easy. So you have the technicalities, you have the knowledge of how you are going to calm them down and do your own work. But there is no reason why you should not neglect patient as a result of an insult from his relation. Even if it is the patient himself that insulted you, you have to do your work first. Later on, maybe he's doing it out of pains, out of confusion, out of any trauma that he must have suffered from his brain. We all suffered it. In fact, it was said that if you are nursing a patient and he slapped you, are you going to slap him back? The answer is no, you are not going to slap him back. Talk less of what his relative is going to tell you. The most important thing you need to do is to take care of the patient first. After you have controlled the situation, then bring the significant others and counsel them, let them understand what the process is and how the patient is going to be managed. So it's going to be considered as a negligence. It can be penalized if you try to neglect that patient, because as a result of an insult from a patient relative, the patient lost his life, definitely you are going to be held to the court, because it's not the patient relative that you are expected to take care of, it is the patient. And the most important thing for a nurse to do is, one, to save life. At whatever condition you happen to find yourself, try to save life and maintain the integrity of health. So don't talk back to patient relation when under emergency situation. Try to control the emergency, then you go and control the patient relations. Does this answer your question, please? Is your question answered? And how can they not allow you to do your work? A hospital is an institution that has rules and regulations, right? If a patient is being brought into the ward, is it supposed to be into the ward together with the relatives? That is why if you are, what you are saying now, you are maybe giving us an experience from maybe low-class hospitals. If you take your patient to, for example, Osman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, are patient relatives allowed to go to near nurses when nurses are doing their work? So, but in these hospitals, I don't want to mention names, maybe in some hospitals that doesn't control the movement of patient relations in and out of units, that can happen. And in that, if you happen to find yourself in that situation, then you just have to find a way to control your own anger first, try to safeguard life, then before you go back to the patient relations and control their own anger.
If I may add, this is getting very interesting. You know, when Dr. Omar spoke in the morning, he said it is always important to have emotional intelligence, to put yourself in the shoes of the other person. That is one. And then two, he talked about professionalism. What makes you a skilled person, a trained person, qualified to hold the license to practice as a nurse includes your ability to control your emotions and your ability to control situations. Parents, sometimes relations are apprehensive, they are worried, they are whatever. So you expect them to even display tantrums. Now they display tantrums, the way you talk to them will determine how they react. The way they even see you. And that's why when Dr. Umar was talking, he said is you know, even your appearance matters. The way you appear, the way you look, the way you even hold them, the way you welcome them, the way you talk to them, all will determine whether they will continue to they will talk to you in a respectful manner or not. In most cases, when you even see patients, let me speak as patients that go to hospital. When you see patients being insultive, it is from how the nurses probably or the healthcare practitioners sometimes conduct themselves. From your look, even appearance is important. If you're a nurse and you're looking all dirty, already you've told me that like you're not a competent nurse, or you're looking confused. Me that you're supposed to give me confidence, you yourself you're looking confused. I will start shouting at you. And you see, it all goes back to all that we've been saying, that you must show that you have the requisite competence, knowledge of subject matter from your look, from your approach, from how you attend to these patients. I think that has answered your question. Any other person, because he wants to leave? Yes. Yes.
And medication confidentiality, we need to say that patient privacy must be between you, nurse, and the patient. And I heard that Dr. Boy said that even if you found I find out that your patient is having this HIV, so you are not allowed to reveal it to anyone. So, sir, as a nurse on duty, and two couples come into my care, and then I found out that wife is positive HIV, and the husband is negative HIV. And that same wife, she asked me please not to reveal that result to her husband. Because if you found out that she's positive, you will divorce her. So please, sir, for me to save the marriage
And to save the husband.
ethical principle of marriage, please, what should I do?
And at the same time to save the husband, right? This is what is called ethical dilemma. It do happens, right? Couples will come, maybe already the wife or the husband knows he tested positive to HIV. So he has the right now for privacy. At the same time, the other person has the right to protect his health. So now it's left on you now to decide on how you are going to intelligently address this issue. To be frank and sincere, that is why in each and every HIV unit there are guidance and counselors, right? You can use your knowledge of counseling to counsel both of them, let them understand what is the reality of HIV before even trying to tell the other person that this one tested positive. But it's not just like by the time you come here, I came here maybe with this, my brother, he is marrying my sister. He came in and we are sitting down and he tested positive, or she tested positive, and just tell me, Kai, mataka the HIV. It's never done like that. Ideally, before even patient is being tested for HIV, he is supposed to be counseled to the extent that he accepted the reality. But if you tell him, he will not feel worried. So by the time you counsel them, sat them down, then that is when you are going to reveal. So in the process of counseling, you are indirectly taking consent from the infected person to allow you to reveal his secret to the other person, right? But it is not the way you think it is supposed to be. You cannot just be simply because you want to save the marriage. As she come in, you just go and go to him and tell him that you have tested positive, and he divorced her. You never do that, right? Let me just share an experience with you. I have a friend that we grew up together. He was married. As life goes on, he goes for a second wife. When he saw one divorcee, he decided to marry her. Unknown to him that her husband died of HIV. He did not know until when the child reached circumcision age. No, not reached circumcision age. He had hernia. He came to me with the boy and said, "Ya danka na da hernia." I sent him to normal hospital to be specific. Specimen was obtained and he was diagnosed HIV positive. He tested positive to retroviral. When they gave him results, closed, stapled, he brought the result to me. He is not a health personnel. When I opened, I saw what happened. I said, okay. I just took my man and said, mentioned his name and said, let's go to Murtala Muhammad Hospital with the baby, with the boy. We went to Murtala Muhammad Hospital. So from there, the person counseled him because I don't know what to tell him. So, but he was counseled for confirmatory test, and when confirmatory test was done, then his own blood specimen was. He voluntarily give his son and say, "Take my blood specimen and test. If I can be with a woman to the extent she born a child, I don't know what the problem I am having now." So, on not him that woman is taking her drugs secretly without his knowledge. At the end of every month, somebody will come from their family and secretly give her the retroviral drugs. As Allah had it, he tested negative. So that is the second one. Now we have crossed one bridge. His other wife at home. Now, how are we going to make sure we have tested her and she is either positive or negative? That's what tends to be challenge to us. But fortunately enough, again, as luck runs in our own side, she was pregnant by then. So I told him, go and bring her to the hospital as if we are going to test her for some diagnostic procedures. He brought her to the hospital, we took her blood sample. And wallahi, alhamdulillah, she also tested negative. So all around, it is only the baby or the child and his mother who test positive. Up till today, his first wife don't know that the other wife tested positive to HIV. But after some time, they have to divorce. Because now that he knew the danger he's in, he cannot continue having her as his own wife. Because he cannot just continue to be just sleeping in her room like that. Eventually, one day, people will make observations and certain things will be revealed. And as he wanted to keep her secret closed, that was how it ended up. Gradually, after some few months, they became divorced. So once ever you are being confronted with this kind of phenomena, calm yourself first. That is where your confidence and competency comes in. You have to be competent. You are being taught. Even if you are not a professional counselor, with the present lectures we are having and what we are doing today, you can sit down and counsel patient to the extent that he can agree with whatever you are telling him. Because there was a saying which says diplomacy means ability to convince person to go into fire and he look forward to the journey. Do you understand it? Or the language is a little bit too big for your brains. Your ability to convince me to go into fire, and I will not ever ask you a question that why do you want me to go into fire? Or the fire can burn me. I will just start moving toward that fire. So that is how we want all nurses to be. You must have the ability to convince your patient to accept whatever illness he is suffering from and whatever treatment he is going to receive from me. Do you understand me? So I think maybe if I must have explained you some extent to how you are going to approach this kind of issue.
And thank you. And if I may add from what he has said, as a nurse, you have given us a situation one spouse, let's say the wife is positive, the husband is negative. Now, for that person who is positive, that person is your patient, isn't it? It is now your job to counsel that patient on the importance of even letting her spouse or his spouse to know the situation he or she is in. It's part of your job schedule. Because it's not even just being HIV positive. I can come now and I have TB. If you don't convince me to take my drugs, I will not take it. If you don't convince me on why it is important to complete my medication, I may not complete it. So that is what you are supposed to do. Not for you, because from your question, the way I'm seeing it, it's like you have already taken a stance. For me, there's no even ethical dilemma yet. Yes, because what you are supposed to do is to convince your patient on the situation he or she has found herself and why maybe the medication he or she has to take, and then other ethical issues. What are those ethical issues? Why the husband must know. It's part of your duty. It's part of your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to begin to judge that, because you already are judging. I don't understand. You understand? It's like you're already judging. Okay? And from the scenario you've presented, both the husband and the wife are already there with you. So if they are husband and wife, I believe that there's a level of trust, there's a level of confidence that they have in each other. I wouldn't think that she would not want her husband to know, even though he has given us a situation where. So that tells you also why it's important you are very careful in the choice of the spouse you make. Is that not so? Because I don't see, if somebody is your spouse, why you will not tell him the truth. The worst that can happen is the divorce. But it is better, and I'm speaking now as a married woman, it's even better to tell the husband so that he, even if he's divorcing you with respect, that you've not lied to him. So it is your job to convince the person that lying about it is not even the best, that people know about it does not change anything. It's not the HIV that will make you die soon. People that have been dying every day, a 1-day-old child can die, a 50-year can die, a 20-year can die. It is not HIV that will kill you. And it is not as if there's no whatever. So, like I said, I think I also still want Dr. Fatima to say something about this, as well as Dr. Kasara to add more light. But he says he has something to do, so I will kindly invite the special guest of honor, Dr. Kasara, and the director of the Hajiya Fatima Yahya Foundation, to present our plaque to our very, very resource person, Alhaji Muhammad Bala Saidu, so that he can take his leave. Thank you. Dr. Boy. Dr. Boy. Dr. Salamtu.
Director Foundation and the CMD. Sai a karanta. Nan da yake da to ai ta guda da.
This is an award of appreciation presented to Bala Muhammad Said for his invaluable contributions as a resource person and the achieving excellent work ethics workshop held at FACONS on 30th July 2025. Thank you for sharing your experience and inspiring our participants. This is from Salamtu Faruq, consultant. May Allah put barakah on it. May Allah bless all of you and even the consulting firm.
Okay, so I questions on the camera.
Yes.
Okay, to kai da.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, to
Thank you.
ga kuma wata takarda ne ka aje shi ai shi ne mun kan break to masha Allah barakallah. At this point we have reached a point where we can break for break and salah. We are going to come back inshallah to 20 minutes is okay go for prayers. We are going to come back 2:10. If you come late, I have my song. Let what do you call it? Songlet. Eh? Yes. Come back 2:10. If you come late, I have my song. Where you sing that. Then you should be here, please. Wait and collect your lunch. Do it all there. Hello, my president.
Can you off it?
knowledge, skills, and attitudes for us to learn. So I will want to now hand over this mic to Dr. Fatima.
And I'm starting once again to further illustrate and also use this medium for the CEO, LCS, that Dr. Fatima
is emphasis. Emphasis and emphasis, so that whatever is patient's rights and medical ethics. Medical field. You don't have this type of authority or giving orientation. Many of them, especially those who are from Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, immediately after graduation, in fact, nursing ethics and medical ethics are the same. The same principle guide medical practice everywhere. They are not just ideals. They are the compass that guides every decision you take, every interaction, and every act of care that you give to your patients. You must know what rights patient has over you, over the health facility, and you must give that right to the patients without compromising the integrity of your practice. So if we look at the definition, by definition, when we say patient rights, what do we mean? These are the legal and moral entitlements. Legal and moral entitlements every individual holds when receiving a medical care. If I step into a hospital looking for a care, I have some rights that must be given to me as a patient. And they ensure dignity, autonomy, and protection throughout the healthcare experience. If you give the patient his or her rights, he or she will be happy with you. You will be happy with yourself. You will sleep well, you will sleep with your eyes closed, and your reward, apart from what you get in the hereafter, your reward in heaven will be 100%. While when we talk of medical ethics, I'm sure you have been told, they are just moral conduct of healthcare professionals. Those morals, those moral attitudes, those habits that you need to conduct while you are practicing as a medical practitioner. This time around as a nurse or a midwife. And for new nurses and midwives, these principles are not just principles. They are not optional. They are what? Compulsory. They are essential. You must conform to ethics in your practice, otherwise you will collapse once here and hereafter. So what are the key rights? What are the key patient's
Yes. Right to informed consent. Right to what? Informed consent. From today, you should know that every patient you're going to treat, every patient you're going to attend to has rights to consent. You don't just injection or medication is being prescribed. You don't just go and grab the patient and say, "Come, well, no, you must explain to the patient what you're going to do, and as well what you're going to do before you now do that. That patient must understand. It is important for you to know that we are in this, people are becoming more and more aware of their rights. People are becoming more and more aware of their rights. If you give patients medication that is not comfortable with, what he may end up doing is going to Google, going to find out what it is, and he may even affect the side effects and likely to put you in trouble. But if you explain from the beginning to the end, and the patient understands, let me give you one example. We have one drug that we call magnesium sulfate obstetrics. We give it to women that have a condition called preeclampsia. That injection, if you give it to the woman, she will feel as if they are putting fire in her body. She will feel as if they are injecting hot water in her body. So if you don't explain to her before you give her, if you don't cancel her and she gives you consent before you give her that injection, what will happen at the end of the day is when you start giving her, maybe the first 1 minute of that injection, she will shout and she will think that's why you are trying to kill her. And if at the end of the day she develops other side effects of the drug and she takes you to court, you may not pay. Why? Because there was no prior counseling and consent taken. Yes, they have said this one. All patients have right to privacy. I know most of our consulting rooms or where we give medication, sometimes we have many people there. If that patient said, I don't want to have it said, many people are, in fact, right from the word, you're not supposed to attend to a patient where many other people are seeing. That privacy is very, very important. What you don't want for yourself, you should not wait for others. So if a patient said, I want to have it here, where the patient is comfortable with. Otherwise, you put yourself in trouble. Confidentiality too, mention it. People's secret, patient secret, a lot of things are happening. Now, I actually wanted to shed more light on the question raised about discordant couples. The wife is HIV positive, the husband is negative, or the husband is positive, the wife is negative. You see, patient is your patient. If a wife comes to you, presents you with her result, or you are opportunity to see in her file that she is retroviral positive, that wife is your patient. If the husband is not there, or he did not approach you, or you have nothing to do with him, there's none of your business in trying to say you want to protect the man. Do you understand? I'm not saying you should allow her to infect others, but as long as she is the only patient, as long as she is the only patient, it's not that they come as a couple, the husband and wife maybe coming as a couple. If she's the only one, then she is the one that is your patient and you must protect her rights. Is that clear? You understand what I'm saying? And it's not only HIV. In fact, the problem with HIV is because we have stigmatization. People stigmatize people with retroviral disease much more than enough. There are other much more dangerous diseases that you should be scared of. Things like hepatitis B virus. It's more dangerous. We are more scared of hepatitis B virus than HIV. Because HIV can survive for less than
4 minutes outside the demand service. But hepatitis B virus, if there's a drop of blood here, within that virus can remain alive for the next 6 months. While HIV, retroviral, HIV virus, within minutes, if you get it out of living cell, it will die within minutes. So the stigmatization issue. The problem is mainly the stigmatization. So if a woman or if a man presents you as a patient, you know that it's retroviral positive, and he's not coming to you with his wife, you don't even know his wife, that's not your business, it's not your, don't put any, it's unethical to go and be revealing it to anybody. But if they come to you as a couple, they want to know their status or whatever, then you have the right. It is their right. Then, like other speakers said, it's the manner and the way you approach the patient that matters. If you are confident and competent enough, you may end up convincing the man or the woman to go for the test, and if they are discordant, they can still continue to live. Because we have seen a lot of examples of serodiscordant couples. What we call serodiscordant couple. The man is positive, the wife is negative, and they are living. Or the woman is positive and the wife is negative. The woman is positive, the man is negative, and they are still living. They have children. All you need to do is to counsel them, to guide them on how to practice sex, safe intercourse, and have children. Also modify their antenatal care as well as delivery processes, and make sure all measures are taken to prevent disease. So every patient has right to respect and dignity, regardless of the origin, the tribe, the religion, or whatever. Patient is a patient. What I will always say is, what I always say and what I will continue to say is, put yourself in the shoe of that patient. What if you are the patient? Would you like to be treated the way you are treating that person? If you would like to be treated the way you are treating that person, then what you are doing is right, then continue doing it. But if you don't want to be treated the way you are treating that person, then something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with your practice, something is wrong with your ethics, and you need to look on yourself. Yes, patients also have right to refuse treatment. Patients have what? Right to refuse treatment. Some medications are prescribed, the patient said, I don't want. Or decision is taken on how to manage a particular element, patient said, I don't want. You don't have the right to. All you need to do is counsel, recounsel, explain and explain. And you have to be extremely patient. Some patients can say a lot of things, can say all sorts of things. For some of us who are in the surgical field, like you now, some of you may want to specialize in peri-operative nursing, some will want to specialize in anesthetic nursing, some are midwives already. So there are some surgical procedures that will do, and maybe that will require some financial commitment from the side of the patient. There are patients that when you tell them you want a surgery, if you are the one counseling, in fact, the first thing one of the patients will tell you that, is it because you want to get money? You understand? Is it because you want to get money? And you have to be very, very patient to be able to absorb this kind of insult. Because you are saying that the life of the patient is in danger. You want to save his life or her life, but he is looking at it from different aspects. He has the right to refuse treatment, and then you, as a nurse or as a counselor, have to be very patient, very empathic, have to be very understanding. For some patients, the refusal to treatment is not as a result of misunderstanding of the treatment process. They may be going through some psychological trauma. So you have to try as much as possible to understand why they are refusing the treatment before you now start. Put the back so you need an hour. You know what? must have it. So you have to be very patient, you have to be calm, you have to be understanding. You have to- Yes, it's also part of patient right to assess care. What we are saying is equitable distribution of care. One of the challenges we face in the in the healthcare institution is, you know, some practitioners tend to discriminate among patients. All patients should be treated equally, not based on wannan makwabciyar ki ce, this one is having more emergency more emergency problem, less emergency, you need to serve this medication but you want to serve this one first because you know her. That is unethical. That is wrong and you are breaching the patient's rights. And you shouldn't say, well, like in an emergency situation where, you know, like in those days, there used to be issues of getting police report before you attend to patients. As a healthcare practitioner, patient has the right to access care, to be given care in emergency situation without money. I think I had one presentation on this sometimes ago on the issue of money. You see patient dying, you now say go and get receipts before you attend to that person. If that patient dies because of that period, even if it's just 1 minute, answer any question I go. If that patient dies because you are waiting for receipt to start before you attend to him or her, you have committed what? Murder. Because your work is not to generate money. Yes, money is very important to keep the hospital, to keep the healthcare facility moving, to sustain the healthcare facility. But life first. It's only when we are alive that we start looking for money, isn't it? So irrespective of the social, economic, or religious background of that patient, you must give that patient the rights of healthcare provision. So that is briefly about patient rights. And from previous presenters, we have discussed the issue of ethics. I will still repeat it. Autonomy. Autonomy. You must respect patients' autonomy, right to make decision about their own body, whatever you want to do. Of course, we talk about getting consent. Whatever they want with their body, allow them without shouting and without shouting and getting annoyed and being annoyed with them. Your aim is to save life. Your aim is to have a healthy patient. Your aim is when a patient step into a hospital where you work, that patient should step out smiling, being thankful, and even collecting your number, calling you to say thank you. Your aim is not to cause harm. So you must make sure that whatever you're going to do, if you have a prescription before you, for some of you that may be posted to rural areas where doctors are not even available, you'll be the doctors, the nurses, and the everything, sometimes even the record officers. Whatever you're going to prescribe, whatever you're going to give to that patient, look at it. What is the benefit? Generally, in medical practice, we know that whatever we're going to give to patient is when the benefits outweigh what? The risk. All drugs and most procedures have their own drawbacks, they have their own side effects. But it's when we look at the side effect and the benefit that we now take the benefit. When the benefit is more than the side effect, that's when we now give the treatment to the patient. So make sure whatever you're going to do to that patient is beneficial, not harmful. Of course, I'm sure you have heard about non-maleficence. Do no harm. Do no harm. Avoid any action. If you find yourself where you're going to give medication or where you're going to prescribe, look at that prescription. It's like repeating what I said before. Someone is having viral sinusitis. You want to prescribe augmentin. Just a normal viral mura. Use augmentin for mura. When that person takes the augmentin, the next thing you are trying to that will develop is resistance. What did you do? You are causing harm. When the real bacteria sets in now, you want to give augmentin, augmentin will not work. The next thing you now say, drug that is much more expensive. So do not do any harm. Whatever you're going to do, look at the benefit and do risk. Of course, fairness, we have also discussed this. Fairness and distribution justice. Make sure that you give equitable care, equal care to your patients, no discrimination. What is your role? We have mentioned, we are just trying to emphasize, re-emphasize, and what is your role as ethical guardians? You are expected, apart from practicing normal ethics, to be advocates for vulnerable patients. Your work is not just to serve medication. Your work is to make that patient comfortable and to also speak up when patient cannot speak. What do I mean by this? You are the one on duty. Patients need certain attention. You are responsible for looking for the doctor to come and take action on that patient. You don't just wait. Likita bai zo ba. Ku jira sai ya zo. That's what some nurses and midwives do. That's very wrong. Of course, you must maintain professional boundaries. Your compassion must never compromise your objective. Being close, of course, you are the closest people to patients, but that doesn't mean you should go too close. That doesn't mean you should go too close, especially for the young men. When you are well dressed, you are practicing, and then a young lady is your patient, you have to be very careful with the way you handle her. The same thing, the young ladies, a gentleman is your patient, you are taking care of him, you have to maintain boundaries. Yes. In as much as you are trying to be professional, you are trying to be compassionate, you should also set boundaries. It's unethical for you to start having other relationships other than that of patients and healthcare provider. Have I passed message? Okay. It is part of your responsibility to also report any unethical behavior. I'm not saying you should be amiable, but anytime you see something going wrong, there's unethical, you report. You can start by simply trying to correct. If that is beyond you, or if it's maybe from someone that is your superior, then you can report in a way that you're not implicating and also not complicating the matter. And like other speakers said, you must commit to lifelong learning. You must commit to lifelong learning. Medical practice is an art that you continue learning from the one to the end of your life. You continue to learn, and learn. I tell you, even me, I've learned by coming here today. I've learned a lot. So you continue to learn. So what Alhaji Bala said about continuing medical education or professional development, it's not just for you to get the license renewed. It is for you to improve on your practice. It is for you to do what? Improve on your practice. So make it compulsory, not because you want your license renewed, but compulsory because you want to improve your practice. You don't want to remain in the old school. Things are evolving, things are dynamic, so you must belong to the changing group. What are the national laws? It's important that you should know the rights we are talking about, the ethics we are talking about. You should know the origin, where they come from. It's important you go and read further. If you look at the section 33 and section 34 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution, you see there's right to life, right to the dignity of human person, And they are the foundations or the basis of the patient's right, including humane treatment and access to care. We also have the National Health Act of 2014 that establishes the patient's bills to rights. This Health Act guarantees rights such as informed consent, confidentiality, and access to emergency care. I think it was in that 2024, you see it posted in many hospitals that nobody should say until police report comes before I will attend to accident victim or gunshot victim. And that is when the complaint committees were created in various institutions. You should know, for some of you that are going to tertiary institutions or even some secondary institutions, that's what we call patient complaints committee. Like in Udut, we have what we call Act 2, where patients can go and lay their complaint. If you don't know this, the day they will call you to explain about how you manage a patient, then you will know. It's better you know it beforehand. I just remember one scenario, just recently. I had these patients in the theater. A senior registrar called me that she was having challenge. So when I came, she had rupture of the uterus, spontaneous rupture. They booked her for an elective CS. She had previous CS somewhere. So when she came, after the previous years, I think she had multiple deliveries, the babies were dying. So because of that, decision was taken to have cesarean section for her. Now this patient, when the senior registrar opened, she just saw the fetal membrane, meaning the uterus has already ruptured even before the surgery. And the previous CS was a classical, that's what we call classical scar, meaning from above down. It wasn't the normal scar. So we quickly delivered the baby. And of course, that kind of scar, patient will bleed torrentially. And she bled torrentially that we had to run blood. Thank God for regional anesthesia. The patient was awake. The surgery was done under spinal anesthesia. So she could hear what was going on. And I wasn't the only consultant in that theater. So I had to call my senior colleagues to come and see what is happening. So one of them talked to her, Hajiya, this is what we have seen. Oh, this is it, this is it. And the treatment for this is to tie your tubes. Maganin wannan shine a daure mahaifanki saboda da kin sake samun ciki akwai yiwuwa kafin ma ki zo asibiti mahaifar za ta fashe. So gara a daure miki mahaifa. Kin gane? Ta ce ta gane. She said she understood. That we told her that the treatment is to tie her tubes. Bilateral tubal ligation. I think I have a microphone voice. Oh? So the treatment was to what? Tie her tubes. Give her bilateral tubal ligation. So she was absolutely counseled and she understood everything. So went ahead, tied the tubes and clean her up. Also conditions. Anything that you're not too sure of, please don't discuss it. Why am I saying this? When you have a shallow information about a particular disease and you discuss it, you know you are representative of the health system. The layman outside believes that you know everything. So whatever you say, he accepts it and he takes it with all seriousness. Why am I saying this? I also had another experience. A patient delivered normal delivery and she was bleeding profusely. I came in, we did under, we couldn't arrest the bleeding, so we entered theater. We went in, we checked down, we couldn't see what was causing the bleeding. So we had to open her. We did all the conservative procedures to ensure that we don't remove her womb. But we had to resort to removing that womb. So when we removed, we did what we call subtotal hysterectomy. Subtotal meaning you remove just part of the uterus and you remove it, you leave the cervix, isn't it? Now, you know, when your knowledge of anatomy is shallow, you don't understand. When you remove uterus, that's what we call vaginal angle. It's not the vaginal angle, that angle of the cervix that you will hold. Now, that woman, even after removing the uterus, that cervix kept on bleeding. So we called one of the senior consultants, he came in, tried the vaginal angle, then the bleeding stopped temporarily. So someone was just by the side with shallow knowledge. He heard we said vaginal angle. Now said that why Shema vaginal bleeding vaginal laceration some sun ka kiɗa a su vagina sun kashe can sun ka cire mata maya. This statement, this statement alone was a lot of meetings. Because the person had shallow, instead of the person to ask, why did you remove her uterus? I heard you say vaginal angle. So let's move to the next slide. Okay, we also have patient bills of rights. This was developed by the Federal Ministry of Health. You should find time to go through all this. That laws are there that are guiding your practice. Apart from this lecture that we had, go through your books and always remember them. The ones we mentioned earlier were the national laws, these are the international laws. Finally, my take-home message to you: you are entering a noble profession. Go back to last. You are entering a noble profession, one that demands not just the skill you have, but your character. You should know that the skill you have will get you hired, but it's your character and your ethics that will keep you employed. Excellent work ethics will make you stand out, earn patients' trust, and bring fulfillment to your work. Patient rights and medical ethics are not just rules of government, and you not only heal bodies, you uplift humanity. As you join your scrubs and enter the world, remember, every patient is a person, is a human being like you. Their rights are secured, your ethics are your legacy. Thank you so much.
MashaAllah, barakallah. Dr. Fatima Aliyu Birnin. We thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. I believe we learned a lot, and I believe you will have so many questions to ask her because of some of the experiences, knowledge she shared with us. I know you are itching to ask some questions, but before then, please give her a very powerful round of applause. Thank you. What always interests me, all the speakers, all the packages they have brought. Do you know one thing? I don't know how SFC, SFC coined this topic in line with the mission, vision, and the core value of FACONS. All of them, they are all from different background. They are all from different locations. But the way they coin their topics and the way they present their packages, they are in tandem with vision, mission, and the core values. I think this is one of the qualities of Salamtu Faruq consulting firm, to be able to coin these topics, source the resource persons, allows them to package their presentation and present it to you in line with all these key elements. If you look at the vision, to be a distinguished leadership and the mindset development training firm. That is the vision of the purpose. Of the SFC. Our mission to inspire and equip leaders with the skills and the mindset necessary to navigate challenges, foster innovations, and drive sustainable success. Then core values: competence, integrity, effectiveness, excellence, and the commitments. So if you look at their presentations, they all revolve around these core values. They are calling you to be committed, calling you to be competent, to be excellent, to be effective, and to have integrity. So please, let us give another powerful applause to the SFC. So on this note, I think I will hand over to the leading facilitator, that is FSC, to make comments before the question and answer sessions for all the presenters. I think before that session, I think there will be another activity, but let me hand over the mic to the leading facilitator. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Boy. Once again, I would like to very, very well appreciate Dr. Fatima Ali Birnin Yawuri. And you see, this world is a very small place. When we went to pray, she now said, I know your friend, Dr. Memuna. And I was like, wow. Oh, in fact, we're classmates with Dr. Memuna. And you know what? I just felt very happy with myself. I'm proud with myself. You know, one of the things I told you in the morning is, show me your friend, I'll tell you who you are. You see, me, my friends, Professor Karima Tunau, Dr. Fatima Aliyu Birnin Yawuri, Dr. Memuna Alkali, Professor Asabe Kabir Usman, Dr. Ali Umar, Dr. Kasarawal, Alhaji Sadiq Kalgo. You know, I don't go with people that don't know what they are doing. I may be at this lower level here, but I associate with people that make me to continuously learn. Her paper was very, very interesting. It was tagged Patients' Rights and Medical Ethics, a Guiding Light for Nursing Practice. And I think she divided her paper into, 4 or 5. sections. The first section, she talked about patients' legal and moral rights. She talked about the legal and moral rights that patients have. And one of the key takeaways from that particular session was that she said medical ethics are not optional. They are not optional things. They are not things that you don't have to do. She said they are essential and compulsory. It is one of the things she said. I don't know. I hope all of you have taken that. It is not, I have an option to take it or not to take it. It is essential and compulsory. She talked about giving patients clear, concise, and complete information about their condition and treatment options. What this tells you is that you must know, and you must know how to communicate it. She talked about right of privacy and confidentiality. Nigerians, a lot of us, we talk too much now. If you know you're the type like me here that talk too much, is one of the things you must uphold. She has said it is not an optional thing. It is something that is essential. It is something that is compulsory as you practice nursing. She talked about right, the patient's right to be respected and to be treated with dignity. She mentioned that ask yourself, the way you treat your patient, is that how you'd want to be treated? Everybody craves for respect and to be treated with dignity. And she said patients have the right to refuse treatment. It's not a force. You don't go and enforce and say you must take this particular treatment, it's like this. She talked about the core principles of ethics, issues of autonomy, issues of non-malfeasance, avoiding actions that can cause more harm. She talked about nurses as ethical guardians, employed, and what will stand you out to be respected and recognized and see as worthy nurses and midwives are the ethics that you uphold, the work habits that you are known for. In particular, in fact, she said, your ethics or your work habits are your legacies. So based on this, I think she deserves a resounding applause. And if I were you by now, I will collect her number so that I can be, I know doctors are very patient, but it's very important you collect her number so that you continue to ask her and see her as a mentor who will continue to guide you. And where you have questions or things that are, challenging to you in the course of your work career, you contact her, you send her text. I keep of any resource you have is in the use you put to it. The value of your phone is in the use you put to it. It is not in the music you listen to. Yes, sometimes the music can calm you down, but if you have phone and you can chat somebody and say, I just want a little guidance on this particular problem that I have faced in my course of work, you are putting your phone to good use. Your phone should not be a distraction to you, but it should be something that should help you in the course of learning every day. So on this note, once again, I would want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Fatima Aliyu Birni Yauri. And I know you have a very busy schedule. So we'll use this opportunity to say thank you to you and present you with a little souvenir, except if you want to continue. And it's not easy to be a consultant. Do you know what it takes to be a consultant? You do know? Me and you will never reach that level to know. So let's just respect ourselves, go and respect her very well and allow her to go. So thank you once again, Dr. Fatima. And I'll also once again call on our special guest of honor and the provost of the college to present this plaque to her. Thank you.
What you presenting?
On behalf of Salamtu Faruq Consulting, I have the pleasure to present an award of appreciation to Dr. Fatima Birnin Yauri for your invaluable contributions as a resource person at the Achieving Excellent Work Ethics workshop held at Fatima College of Nursing Sciences on 30th July 2025. So thank you for sharing your expertise and inspiring our participants. Thank you very much. May Allah continue to guide you in the spirit, and may Allah also grant you more knowledge, and that will be beneficial to our humanity. Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's not easy to get a consultant. It's not a consultant. That's the way you can even join us. Director, you can join us. Privilege, man. Consultant, man.
Akwai wani ati.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are enjoying every bit of the presentations. That's excellent. There is a special information with regards to the graduation ceremony on Saturday, that the academic gowns are ready, but you are expected to make a payment of 3,000 naira only. 3,000 naira only to the POS within the college. That is at Malan Abdul Aziz POS point. So make sure that he generates transaction receipts, not that slip, not that small slip, because the slip fades and it may get missing. So he has been informed that he should generate transaction slip, just like the one you actually, do I say, produce when you are making transfer using your bank application. So when it is produced, it is sent to your phone, please make sure you print it, because that is what you will present, right, to bursary department. Then you will be given the academic gown. Okay, it will be written at the back that you have been issued with academic gown, and at the end of the event, you are expected to return the academic gown, please. Okay, thank you.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much, Provost. Okay.
I think it will make more.
Now, to the next interesting and practical session. If you could remember, In the morning, I told you everybody here is going to talk. Do you remember that? Huh? There we are now. Everybody is going to talk. I will use my magic hand and point at you. You come and talk. Are you ready? Good. No? Hey. So I will start with Adebayo Tolu and Hafsat Ibrahim Liman. Where is he? Good. Come forward. Look at them and listen to what they are saying. Listen to what they will say. Then you copy them and do your own. Aha. Sit down. This is a small studio. This is NTA Sokoto, Nigerian Television Authority, not a capacity authority. So here with me by my right hand side, I have Tolu Adebayo, who was an ex-student. He was one time a student here. Do you remember him? Good. He was a student, year 2, year 3, and year what? Year 4, 5. He was able to finish. And Hafsat Ibrahim Liman also was one time a student here. And they all graduated. And I could remember vividly they received an award during their graduation ceremony. And we did the same training to them. They came here like you. And they received the same training. So we have not forgotten, we are tracking them. We have it in our record. We train them and we send them to the workforce. All of them are working. You see, Adebayo, the time when he was here, he was not like this. There are a lot of changes. Can you see him? Through apples. I have his picture when he was a student here. Not as big as he is now. The same thing with Hafsat. She is working, and we have all their records when they were students here. So when we give them that training, we send them to their places of work. I want to hear from them where they work first. Then to my questions, which are going to be answered by every one of you here. Ready? If I'm ready, say ready. Ready? Are you ready? Good. Thank you, Adebayo. I will start with you. Tell us your name, where you work, but don't mind. Even if you can tell us maybe the monthly salary, but it is only me that will hear that. Eh? Will you tell me the salary? Aha. So it's only me, so that they will not hear you.
All right, thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to use this privilege to say thank you to first, Malama Salamtu, for giving us this privilege. And I would like you, the student, to hear this. This is a kind of platform that you pay for. In fact, you pay a huge amount of money to attend this kind of platform, and it's be given out freely. And I know most of you might be like, maybe it's nothing, but it means a lot. And what they share in those big platforms, the model of FACONS, please. All right. As you all know, my name is Adebayo Tolu, and I worked with MSF, Sokoto State, and the project have ended. And currently, I'm working with Academic Nightingale. It's a global organization and NGO currently.
You see? Hey, clap for Adebayo. Can you see wonders? Even his communication skills improve. True or false? When he was student here, if you want to talk, he will be talking in a shy way. But now with his eyes, urukuru. Can you see? He has confidence. So it's one of the purpose of having this kind of sitting, so that you show that you are confident enough. You can talk. You have this thing. Number 6 is working. You have the knowledge. He demonstrated that he has the knowledge. So he is now working with international organization. Clap for him, please. So it means he is not even being paid in naira. You see? So please try to be just like him. So we heard from you, Adebayo. Now to my left is Hafsat Ibrahim Liman. We want to hear your name, where you work, before the next questions, inshallah.
Okay, thank you. Firstly, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to organizers, particularly Hajiya Salamtu Faruq, and also the school management for providing us with necessary equipment and dedicated lecturers that facilitate our experience. Thank you, ma'am. Then my name is Hafsat Ibrahim Liman. I'm currently working at GH Bodenga, General Hospital Bodenga, as a staff midwife.
Fantastic. Even Hafsat now has improved. I know last time when I asked her, what is your name? She said Hafsat. Is it complete? It's not complete. But today she can confidently say, I am Hafsat Ibrahim Liman. You see, that is the things that we want you to have confidence, to show that yes, you are a good ambassador of Fatima College of Nursing Sciences, Sifawa. We receive success stories from their place of work. We receive. They said, this you are student. Are they really student of that college? We told them yes, they are. She mentioned it. We provided dedicated teachers for them. So kudos to the foundation and kudos to the college management for ensuring they have good instructions to their students. Now coming to the questions. We want to hear from Tolu. What are the challenges? Because this is experience sharing session. We want to share their experiences, or they will share their experiences with us. And it's a point of learning. It's an avenue where you will learn so many things. One of them, you will learn what we call confidence skills. You will learn communication skills. You will learn so many things. So we want to hear from them. Tolu, what can you share to your colleagues? Because what they are going to tell us here, we cannot find it in book. We cannot find it in any manual. We cannot find it in the library. You heard somebody saying he was having an issue, challenge, a HIV couple, and he doesn't want to reveal it to the wife, and he was in dilemma. And he was told not to reveal the secrets of his patient. What can he do? So because of this kind of discussion, because he cannot find it in any book, so he was able to be guided and be given way out. So the same thing with what they are going to tell us. They will tell us some of their experiences, at least one, so that we can hear from them, learn from them, and collaboratively discuss and take away some messages for our own benefit. Tolu, please share with us at least one experience that you think you have and it will be beneficial to your colleagues as they are living, transiting from college to hospitals.
All right, thank you, sir. Um, uh, the experience that we share, I will go back to when I work with MSF, Sokoto.
What is MS?
That is Doctors Without Borders.
Huh?
Medicine Sans Frontiers.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah. NGO. So they did this project here in Sokoto. Most of you must have heard about it, mass vaccination. And I can tell you the work was ethic. The payment was good, actually.
Hey.
Yes, but one thing is that, most of us, before we graduated, we were like, "Ah, I want to go out there and work. I just want to go work. I just want to work." Yes, you work. But if it is with NGO, you will bleed for the money, actually. Yes, I'm sorry to say that, but they will pay you, but they will use it to the core. You have to you have to work for that money. And first, the actual first challenge that I had was time management, because the stress was too much and you have to be there at 8 o'clock. So it was overwhelming and it's emotionally, but let me pick it up slowly. Coming to time management, let me just set example. They are white people. Okay, I work together with, we have a coordinator, is a Eric from Germany. So we are three in number that work with him. And one thing is that we have to meet at the office there in Sokoto by 8 o'clock. Everybody have to be there. And they have this bus that actually bring these white men to the place. And one thing that shocked me is that these white people, even though it's one of them, like, even once it is that age, they will be at the office. And if one of them delay, they will leave that person there. A white fellow, they will leave the person there. So the person have to take his own transport and come and meet them. So now, coming to office 8 o'clock is not bad, right? Because we are used to it here in school. But because of the stress of the work, you are tired, and to wake up early in the morning and dress up, time is few. So now, I find it difficult to meet up with time compared with the with the work, because of the pressure of the work. And let me just share what actually helped me. The Eric now, he got to a point that he noticed that the pressure is high. So he told us, calm down. Are we together? Like a teamwork, there is this compassionate for him. You understand that we are under pressure and we have to deliver. So you have to talk to us that we should calm down and take it easy. And he shows us that even though we didn't meet up, there's no problem. And what that sounds to me is that just like all of our resource people, they've been talking about time management and teamwork. Teamwork starts from boss, the boss of anywhere that you work with. So it shows us that we are together. So he's not there against us. So this actually balanced my emotional state back. Because, when you are going to work, you have this feeling of maybe you are going to meet a kind of, bossy person that is higher than you. There is this fear. But when I find out there, help me to come back to my actual state and balance things up. In fact, as time goes on, I start meeting up. Then again, one thing I would like to share before I hand over the mic is that we were three number, right? Please don't go to your workplace and, FACONS students can be intelligent. We can be intelligent. Let me tell you that. So don't go to the workplace and try to show that you are intelligent than anyone, than all the people that are there. Yes. It's very important. It's very important because I got to find out that later along the run, as we're working with those guys, you come to a point that you need each other's help. And if you show them that you are superior, you are super everything, when at the point of your need, you will not get help, and you can't do it alone. And this is one thing with nursing. Nursing is not a solo hat. Are we together? Nursing is not what? A solo hat. You have to work together with others. You can't do it alone. If not, the pressure alone will bring you down. And even the expression that we'll be getting from your colleagues, it will also take you down. So teamwork is highly important. And back to my point of that, don't go there and show that you know everything to be superior. It's good that you demonstrate intelligence when you are being called for, because from the last this particular platform, 2024, we were honored to have Mr. Abdul Rashid, aka North, King of the North. Yes, he shared a lot of things with us then about communication skills and also how to work within, communicate with your teams, which is quite important. So please, I'm begging you, when you go to your workplace, any platform it is, observe is very important. Observe the people. In fact, ethics, part of ethics, there's observation in it. Observe the environment, observe the people, know how they work so that you can know how you communicate with them. Are we together? So that is part of the little things that I will just pause here and allow my fellow person to talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Tolu. But you didn't tell me what I asked you. You said that is good. So thank you so much. We have heard from Tolu. It's highly amazing and interesting. You see, he's working with a white man. One of the things he learned from them is time management and working under pressure. And what? Working under pressure. So don't expect yourself when you are working with any organization, you think you do what you are used to. The time start at, so you are expected to be there before 8. If you have any meeting at, so you are not expected to start leaving the house by 8. You are expected to be uh, going out from your house or whatever place you are at 30. So you are expected to be there 10 minutes um, before the start time. So it's very, very important because time management, when you have it, you will always do your things the way you plan them. He also talked about collaboration, also talk about punctuality, also talk about teamwork. Before he was thinking that he is so disturbed, but the way these people carried him along, he now balanced emotionally that he can do what they can. So always try to associate or link yourself with your colleagues. It's an avenue where you will learn.
procedure. She was inserting the catheter and the catheter is not going. And she was alone, no senior staff. Then just something came up to her mind that there is another condition that can prevent you from catheterization, which is benign prostate hypertrophy. And she changed the diagnosis and went for suprapubic puncture. She went for it. Then always be ready to ask your senior staff, even if you are alone, even if it is through phone call your senior staff. Yes.
MashaAllah, thank you so much, Hafsat. But I may not necessarily mention some of her words. Registered words, but from her explanations, I understand where she is headed to. She was mentioning some words which I cannot even recall them now. But part of what she shared with us, there is need for you to have personal and interpersonal skills. That is communication skills. The way you will be talking to your people, to the hospital, to the patient, to the relatives, to the client, because it is a challenging issue. Prepare your mind. You are there.
There was a mention on the attitude of the clients, the way they behave. To the extent outside you are saying they are villagers. I don't know what make you have the notion that they are villagers. Maybe if you shed light on this villageness, be improved. And the part of Tolu, you have said you have worked with white men. What do you think if you are working? Tell us your expectation, because now you are working with it. So what have you understood now that are not black? What the situation would be according to our expectation if you are not working with white men?
Thank you so much, sir. That's a deep question. Thank you so much. First, let me say this to students. It's not everybody that will be privileged to work with white men. And just because of you're not privileged to work with white men doesn't mean you're not a nurse or a midwife. But one thing I would like to say is that working with white men helped me a lot because it shaped my understanding in terms of leadership. You know, I said before that this man from Germany, he have to call us, and the way he treated us, he showed us that we are together. So he showed compassion there, which actually broadened my level of understanding in terms of leadership. So, and if coming to work with a black man, which I am not expecting any challenging beyond measure, I can also handle that. I can work with a black man. I'm black myself. So there's no any platform that I don't think I can work in. And the only thing is just to understand the environment. Since I've understood the logic that if you first enter any platform, understand the people, understand the way they work, that's their ethics. Because in MSF, they have their own ethics. So if you're not even good with maintaining ethics, it will be so bad to work with them. You will not find it comfortable. So that's one thing. So working with black man, the expectation from them might be, my expectation for a black man working with black man is it's different from that of white men, because we all expect that working with black men can be so rigid. Some of them are too bossy. So yeah, that's what I can say on that.
Okay. Do you have anything to add? Is it the time you are saying? Maybe after closing. Huh? Okay. Do you have anything to add?
About the leaders, I said, sorry, I will correct it later, inshallah. But I know it is not the only burden the people that are like that. Many people among rural areas, most of them, not only burden the people. Example, we encountered a patient was brought. It was medication was prescribed. Then the mother, the patient related, asked one of our staff, "Hey, this girl, go and buy this drug for me." She's asking her to go and buy drugs for me. Then she tell her, "Ma, we are not here for going and buy drugs. We are here to see patients. We are nurses, not sellers." And there are a lot of things. One man tell me that, "You, small girl, are you going to touch my wife?" I'm small girl. And later he came back to me, "Please, ma, come and see this patient." Yes, after saying this thing, he came back again, telling me to go and see his patient again. There are lots of things.
So actually this is very interesting, and prepare yourself. These are the things that you are going to face. And remember all the lessons you learned. Empathy, sympathy, communication skills, and what have you. So that will now moderate you and know how to talk to your patient and know how to talk to their relations. Do we have anything? Any question from the students?
Any questions from the side of the students?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, my fellow colleagues. So I don't have a question, but rather a contribution. So my contribution is concerning the word or the skill, empathy. So for my own contribution is that as we, the newly graduated nurses, we need to pay attention to that skill, empathy. Because empathy is something that we need to work with. Empathy is something that, as we are holding medication with one hand, we should be holding empathy with the other hand. Because you can't really, you can only treat with medication, treat the body with medication to get well. But with empathy, you treat the souls. You heal the souls. So empathy is a skill that all nurses should have. It's a skill that, because from my experience, I've had many experiences where empathy play a role in making connections between a nurse and a patient to be strong, making your patient to gain trust towards you. So this empathy, I've heard from my mentors, I've heard from my lecturers when they share story about how they showed empathy to their patients and it really helped them in various places. Like I can say for one of my lecturers, he once worked in these facilities, like the Federal Psychiatric Hospital, where they take care of ill patients. So that's when he was working there during his time of practice, he said there were patients where he actually cared for with empathy. He really cared for them. He got that connection, that deep connection with them. And he really helped him. And other colleagues that maltreated those patients, because we know how mental individuals are. Sometimes they are kind of, they irritate us. Sometimes they do things that are not well, as you know. But because you have this empathy, because you are a professional, because you are a professional nurse, you know that, okay, I need to show more of empathy to this my patient. I need to work on my skills to actually render or deliver my care appropriately. Like him now, he said his colleagues, they maltreated some patients there, and when the patient sees them after they get well, they see them outside, that is outside the hospital, they tend to harass them, that is the nurses. They tend to harass them. Why? Because of they maltreated them during their time. They don't show them this empathy. They just felt like these patients are just mentally ill patients that I don't need to, they don't even know what they are doing, so they cannot remember anything. But him that showed that empathy, he got that connection with them. He puts himself in their shoes, understand them, made a real connection with them. And when he even went outside, they sees him, they appreciate him. Some of them tend to help him. So I just want to conclude that we, as nurses, newly graduated nurses, we need to, as we are holding our medication in one hand, we need to like follow with empathy. Because without
thank you very much. That will be all right. Thank you very much. Do we have anybody that wants to ask a question? Any other question? Okay, so do one more question before we round up. I'm sure when you got employed, there was an interview process. What is it that you think made you to stand out during the interview process? The same thing with you, I believe there was an interview process. Was there an interview process for you also before you were employed? There was none? Okay. So what is it that you think stood out for you when you went through that interview? And then you have, what is it that you would say you have gained most from FACONS now that you are putting to practice your knowledge? Theoretical knowledge that you probably, let's say, got from FACONS.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So when we had this interview, these white men, the intelligence now in terms of hiring with the black, because they discovered that we normally hire ourselves. So the system has changed. So it's the white men themselves that actually do the interview, the exam procedure. So one thing that I noticed is that, thank God, I can say to some extent I understand ourselves. Yes, that one gave me an edge, to be honest. And the interview is based on practical again, whereby they set laptops before us. So I think we need to thank Malama Salamtu again, because when FACONS was like, she gave laptops to every department. That's a brilliant one, because the system of nursing society now is now in technology. So if you don't have technology, you are not fluent enough, you don't have more skills in technology, I don't think there are some techs that you can't actually work in. They gave us system, they set it before us, so then they put the instruction there that this is what it is expected that we must do. Then there is this outside part again, because in our CV we all said that we understand outside, we are good in, we are skillful in Microsoft, we are skillful in Excel, in computer. So here is you, here is a computer, and here is you, here is outside. So they actually give you a record to listen to, so you are going to translate that outside record into the system. So you type it, and you're going to use Microsoft, and there's instruction on the paper that was given now that you must work with. So if you are not good in computer, I don't think you have an head there. Then coming to outside place 2, that one actually give me a head. They're doing the interview. Yeah, this is very important. Before you work with any organization, make sure that you read about them before that interview. It's very important. You know, I said, before I went to the interview, I've studied their ethics. Most of the things that, or this, because with these white men, they love, you know, when you come, show them that you understand their aim, what they are trying to achieve, because they're NGO. So when I was being interviewed, I was asked some specific questions that were related to their own ethics, which I was able to actually list it out. So that one also gave me an edge regarding that. Thank you.
I must thank FACONS, honestly, I must thank it most especially regarding practicals. We received enough during our process of learning. I have to thank Auntie Hawa also. Then there was something that happened to me. I was conducting a labor and placenta refused to separate. And we are very busy. At that time, we were very busy due to shortage of manpower. I said, "Ma, please, this placenta is not separate. What am I going to do?" She said, "Wait for some minutes." I just wait. But if I continue waiting, the cervix is closed. Then I told her again, "Ma, this thing happens, this thing happens." She just said, "Just go directly to manual removal of placenta." And we were taught. Then from there, I was hearing at her voice as she was doing, she was saying it, "Just go directly with your cup hand and remove the placenta." And successfully, I removed the placenta, inshallah.
Thank you very much for your responses, both of you. And I hope you people listen. We deliberately called them because now they are in the field. And very interesting, you see, one is in a conventional hospital, one is working with an international NGO, so their work experience is very different. But from all that I have picked, you see, this emphasis on the importance of knowing the right competency, remembering all that you have been taught is very, very important. From the first time Adebayo spoke, we spoke about punctuality. This is something we've been talking about. He said you have to report there by 8 a.m. It takes discipline to have punctuality. We maybe the way sometimes our hospitals behave, you may think is not important, but it is very important. And you don't know where you will find yourself. They are here with us today. We don't know in the next few years where they will be. He has talked about punctuality, time management, and having a balance. Both of them have said that respect is something that you earn. Nobody will respect if you don't do. So respect is something you earn by your conduct, by the work habits and work ethics that you exhibit. He also mentioned something. He said, it is good to demonstrate intelligence and competence, but do not demonstrate overconfidence. I think that is what he said. Don't go with an attitude of I know it all. And that is why all the resource persons have said learning is a lifelong experience. In short, that is just what he just said. You keep learning. Probably at this stage you are in, you are one of the best students, graduating students, you think you know it. Until when you are in the field, you just begin to know that you don't know much. They have also spoken about the importance of language and communication skills. Language, your use of language, whether English, whether Hausa language, English is as important as Hausa language is. Because I'm sure when he applied, he did not apply in Hausa language, he applied in English, isn't it? Now, but because of the community he's going to work with, that's why Hausa language is very important. Technology, ICT, like I said, all of you already know how to use the computer. The only thing you are doing is whether you know what you are using it to do. And properly. So if you can type on your phone, it means you can type on any laptop, on any computer system. So I hope you've learned from what they have shared with us today, and I would want to use this opportunity to thank you once again for coming, and wish you the best of luck in all of your endeavors. Thank you very much. We have a little presentation for them, a little token. Since we invited them, we believe at least we should give them transport. So I will not call on the director of the foundation to give his daughter. I said I will not call you. I will not call you. You can't be the one giving her. But this time I will call on Dr. Umar. Okay, Dr. Umar to and the provost to make the presentation to them. Thank you.
Can I make an announcement? Please, before the closure, I have an announcement with regard to invitation. The chairman of the invitation committee. And unfortunately, this time around, the space is not much. But since the ceremony is for you, all of you are accommodated. You will have a space here, unless you decided to come late. Those that are late, they may not participate. So you are expected, the graduates on whose purpose the ceremony is going to take place should be here latest by 9. You have space. You are the celebrants. Additionally, each and every one of you has a right to invite his father or mother, just one. But it is a right. If you are not ready, if you don't have the opportunity, it's working. But those of you that are going to invite either the father or the mother should tell us so that we give them a card. A card that will show and come. But for you, the graduates, your gown will show that you are a student and you don't need any identity. That is your identity. But for the parents, nobody will come without that card. And the card is going to be issued free of charge. But you have the right. Those of you that are not interested, or they are from bad places, their parents are not coming, no problem. So, but if you intend to collect, please come and give your name to Montaka. We are going to give you the card anytime from now. And with regard to sitting arrangement, you are already informed that you should come in time by 9, and your parents that are coming should come by 9:30. You will have this reaction.
Thank you. Dr. Umar and Provost, please come forward. Mr. Adiba, you are right. Thank you, sir. After Ibrahim Imanwashi, forward to rise. Provost and Dr. Umar, thank you.
This time we'll call on the Director of the Foundation and Dr. Asala to make the dedication of this award to Dr. Umar Bello.
By Salamtu consulting the past responsible for the organization of this particular event, which is presented to Dr. for his invaluable contributions as a resource person and achieving excellent work ethics workshop held at FACONS on July 2025. Thank you for sharing your expertise and inspiring our participants. Allah bless you. So, Dr.
Thank you so much, Ma, and thank you for all the trust, the confidence, and also the motivations. I also please like to see this opportunity to thank my very good mentor, Dr. Ibrahim Muhammad Liman, on whose invitations we started this journey, and also further appreciate the entire team members, especially the chair of Hajiya Hajiya Fatima Yahya Foundation, for all the privileges, opportunities that not only have not only been given to contribute, but to also gain a lot. Because I also learn, even to participate here, we learn a lot. Thank you so much.
Okay. Dr. Abubakar Boy, Director of the Foundation, and Director, please come forward to present the prize to Dr. Abubakar Boy.
This is also another deserving award of appreciation presented to Dr. Abubakar Boy Sifawa for his invaluable contributions as a resource person and achieving excellent work ethics workshop held at FACONS on 2nd July 2025. Thank you for sharing your experience and inspiring our participants. The presentation is from Salamtu Faruq Consulting. Allah bless you and also the organizers.
Next presentation is at SFC. I think Dr. Liman should still be there. And we invite the provost of the college to assist Dr. Liman in making this presentation. At SFC, we believe everyone is a leader. You must know how to communicate. Language, your use of language and communication skills is very important. So as part of our efforts in inspiring and ensuring that you know the importance of language and communication skills, we're making a presentation of award to the best nursing students in language and communication skills. And this award is going to be presented to 3 graduating students. And one of these graduating students is Lemchi Chika B.
This is a matter of language. Salamtu Faruq Foundation Consulting has recognized the importance of communication skills, and therefore a selection is made, and the best nursing student in language and communication skills is selected. And the award is presented to Lemchi Chika P. What is P? Peace. Very useful. I like it. And therefore, the presentation will be made by the provost.
Next is Muhammad Nafisa.
This also best nursing student in language and communication skills is also presented to Muhammad. As you know, the presentation is sponsored by Salamtu Faruq Consulting. I have the privilege to present it. Will later present the
Next is Khadija Usman Medama.
This is another best midwifery this time, best midwifery student in language and communication skills, presented to Khadija Usman Maidama. The presentation was sponsored by Salamtu Faruq Consulting, and the presentation will be led by the Prof.
Fatima, Khadija, participating in the inter-colleges competition, and she won prizes for the college. And up to now, I think she has actually stick to herself to the caliphate debate competition. Even after graduation, she's still with the committee caliphate graduation, and which our college also will participate in the next competition.
She was noted by the organizers of caliphate competition, and even after they graduated, they continue with their experience. Thank you so much.
Also, as a way of motivating them, and based on the information that I just got, all of them will also get a token of 50,000 naira each. For presentation of certificate, because time has passed gone and they have been called to prayer, we're just going to call on maybe just 10 participants to receive their certificates, while all others will get their certificates on their table. So starting with Abdullah Muhammad, can you be fast? Abdullah Muhammad.
Then, Abdullah Muhammad is for successful participation in the competition.
Omar Fatima, my son.
Omar Fatima Mesango has also successfully participated in achieving excellent work at this workshop, and here are the certificates.
Then Alangasa Ishia Yasin.
Alangasa? Yeah, you like to see. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Left is Chika Speed.
Left Chika, peace. So you want to collect wherever there is collection. Congratulations. Yes.
Apolabi Abdul Wahab.
Apolabi Abdul Wahab.
I think the provost can take his seat. We'll call on Dr. Asara now to assist the director. Next.
Muhammad Shamsu. Is he around?
Muhammad Shamsu. has also successfully participated in the workshop.
Abdullahi Shams.
This time not Muhammad, Abdullahi Shamsu. Shamsu Abdullahi. Congratulations for successful participation.
Malami Aminu.
Malami Aminu. Congratulations for successful participation in the workshop.
Ibrahim Khadija. Sure. After Abubakar Sunday, I should come close. Around. Hello, Bashir.
Abubakar Sakia. Where are you? Go there.
Dipko Shafiu,
Next
come
time,
forward.
tell us your experience. He is working action against hunger now. we are coming to you.
Bashar Bello.
Dipko Shafiu.
Ibrahim Zeba, come forward. Ibrahim
Sheikh.
Say by Brian.
Aminu Zainab Urmi, come forward.
Congratulations for successful participation.
Aminu Zainab Urmi, is she around?
She is. Aminu Zainab. Walk like a nurse, you are called to a patient. Oh, you are sick. Sorry.
Usman Faiza Dengi, come forward. Usman.
Where is Faisal?
I will now call on Dr. Umar, who is Assistant Director.
Let me tell you before you come, most of you may not know the origin of calling Usman Baba Usman at the ICT. You know, Usman is a young boy. He has got to marry and just graduated. But all students are calling him Baba Usman. The reason is that he shared the name with Khadija's father. So Khadija was the first person to call him Baba because his name is Usman. She is Khadija Usman. So all the students are now calling the business centers, they are calling him Baba Usman, including the boys. Yes.
Airport, she comes, see precious.
Come see precious. Congratulations.
Kabiru Sar. Malami Faisal, come close. Malami Faisal, is she around? Not. Abubakar Joyeria Musa.
Joyeria, congratulations for successful participation.
Abdullahi Hawa Iman.
Is she around? No.
Omar Amina Dengi.
Congratulations for successful participation.
Bello Sauda. Bello Sauda.
Sauda, congratulations for successful participation.
Sidi Saudatu Ahmad.
So that is Sidi Ahmad.
Muhammad Bankisu.
Barkisu. Muhammad Juli.
Muhammad Hawa. Is she around? Muhammad Hawa. Muhammad Hawa is not there. Dahiru Mariam. Is she around?
Mariam Dahiru.
Sulaiman Nafisa. Sulaiman Nafisa is not around. Umar Khadija Maidamma. Sorry, Usman Khadija Maidamma. Is she around?
Khadija Asman. Congratulations.
Ibrahim Aisha Ali. Is she around?
Ibrahim Aisha.
Bashir Fatima Jabi. Is she around? Abdullahi Farida Yabo.
Farida Yabo.
Abubakar Amina.
Are you ready to have for us?
Abubakar Amina on board.
Amina, okay.
Isa Amamat. Dangana Messi Oyiyo.
Messi. Dangana.
Wahari Ahmad. Johnson Olua Hotel Table. Obuga Nsoma Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Obuga.
Ragni Shemau Umar. Peter Mary. Peter Mary. Aminu Mardia. Ahmad Hajaran. Adamu Fatima. Shara.
Fatima Adamu.
Barade Asma.
Asma Barade.
Ibrahim Abubakar.
Ibrahim Abubakar, congratulations.
Okay. Dr. Omar Bello, thank you. Dr. Abubakar, please come and assist the director to present this. Abdussalam Umul Khair. Muhammad Rukaya Jasudi.
Rukaya.
Abdullahi Yabo. Is he around? Shehu Balkisu Mustafa. Abdullahi Nabila.
Nabila Munai.
Aliyu Nana Khadija. Nawali Yushau.
Nana Khadija Aliyu.
Said Lukman Tambala. Abubakar Naima Musa.
Naima Musa.
Yusuf Safina Balarabi.
Safina.
Daniel Seona. Nasir Hafsa.
Daniel.
Sadiru Amina.
Hafsat Nasir.
Hassan Faiza.
Faiza.
Faruq Shehu.
Faruq Shehu.
Roja Ahmad Bello. Ibrahim Muawiyah. Mu'adu Sadiya Musa. Okoli Jennifer Igozi.
Jennifer.
Shehu Selom Gele. Ibrahim Hassan Alifa. Hamza Amira Said. Still around?
Amira. Said. Hi. Said.
Isa Duleha.
Absent.
Isa Duleha absent. Diao Fatima. Isa Fatima. Ismail Saudat. Yau Saudat. Yusuf Ramatu. Mukhtar Mariam. Muhammad Aisha Walida. Muhyiddin. Sani Nasiru.
Congratulations.
Isfullah Bala. Abubakar Abdullahi Sarki. Abubakar Abdullahi Sarki, is he around?
Sarki.
Aisha Abubakar. Absent. Adam Ibrahim Ahmad. Is he around? Nasir Amira Hafsat. Bello Ahad. Abubakar Amina Musa. Murtala Aisha Isa. Bahiru Fatima Ahmed. Is she around? Fatima. Isia Hanmatu. Nasiru Fatima. Nasiru Fatima, is she around? Hello, Aisha. Abdullahi Amina S. Dogarai.
Yes, Dogarai, is she around?
Muhammad Kusaina Hassan. Abubakar Laila. Abubakar Laila.
Laila, get ready. Right.
She around? Aliyu Lukman.
Lukman Aliyu.
Badamasi Halima Abdulaziz. Muhammad Mubaruka Mani. She around? Faruq Aisha Lambara. She around? Faruq is not around. Hajiya Zinat. Okereke John Chukwuzi.
John.
Abba Ismail Ali. Yahuda Aisha Suleiman.
Ismail.
Metua Precious.
Precious.
Precious, is he around? Abdullahi Medina. Absent. Aliyu Umul Khairi. Atebu Efeoma Yunis. Ibrahim Sufyan.
Sufyan Ibrahim.
Shehu Abubakar Freitas. Osama Ibrahim. Sulaiman Hafsat Kamba. Yakubu Maimunatu Said. Ishaku Sumaya Bello. Khaliru Fatima Abubakar. She may give Uche. Ishaka Naziru. Ali Fatima Hassan.
Foundation under the leadership of its chairman, our father, in person of Lieutenant General Faruq Sokoto, and his able director in person of Dr. Ibrahim Ahmed Liman Sifawa. Actually, you have done a lot to us. We are among the less privileged individuals that benefit from this foundation. As I am talking now, I am among the scholarship students that benefit from foundation. Today, I am a registered nurse. If not because of foundation, I don't think there is no way that I can study nursing, especially in this institution. So thank you for that. Then on that lectures us on ethics and whatever, like Dr. Umar Bello, Dr. Fatima and Provost from Belgium. We thank you so much for this wonderful lecture given to us. This will ever remain in our memory, and I assure you that we will continue to use what we have, to work with what we have learned here. I assure you we will all put it into practice. Thank you so much. For the security personnel that are here for our own safety, we thank you very much, especially the Nigerian armies that are always here with us day and night. They are there on their feet just to ensure peace in this college. Thank you so much. Then to my fellow graduates and all the attendees that attended this great occasion, thank you so much. I wish all of us here safe back to his respective families. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The last item is the group photograph. So some of you should come forward with their chairs here. Come, bring the chairs here.
Please, hurry up, hurry up.
You, the first row, also bring your chair here.